My fellow Ambazonians, una good afternoon for all una good evening for all our people them for ground zero, una good evening for all our people them for that site, for the continent of Europe, una good evening for all our people they did for that site for the Middle East, all the people they did for that site for the Persian Gulf, all our hustlers and for that site for Dubai and all that side for United Arab Emirates and also for all that side for Bahrain. We salute all una for una hustling. For all Ambazonia then for that side for Asian Pacific, for all people ready for that side for Hong Kong, for China, for Singapore, Malaysia, even people ready for that side for India and for Pakistan, even the one ready for Bangladesh. All Ambazonians for that side, we so salute now. We know saying almost Tuesday morning time for our own Tuesday morning time for our own side for day. So una good morning for that side. For our people then for ground zero, una a salute on our mommy and papa them. Una good evening for all una and happy Monday for all man. For all our people then for that side, we're picking them for that side for Nigeria and for all the refugees then. I don't so come. I say make a throw all una salute. We hope so una they fine and una they take good care of ourselves. Then for Ambazonia, then for this side for North America, so some place for this side for Canada. Now only morning time. The one then for this side for the area where they call and say the Eastern Standard Time. Now afternoon, now 2:45 for afternoon. So 2:45 for afternoon for Washington DC and for Maryland area. All right. Also so for people then for New York, now 2:45 for afternoon. We also throw na salute the people then for Central Time. Now 1:45 for our own time. We also people then for that side for we also throw all na for salute for Atlanta and I think for Texas. We throw na salute. Una come well, una come fine. I be una brother Asu, we are the press secretary for the executive office for the governing council of Ambazonia. Today, na country Sunday. Today, a Monday goes down. Make a first of all start. The conversation today is plenty. The conversation today is big. The conversation today, when I go over like I want to talk about the new standard, the new path forward, the new way forward, the new policy where they don't put them in place. I don't come today for can get a discussion with people then and for educate all our people then, for inform them about the new decision that they don't be made and how ground zero get for be conducted. All right. So I will take una enter for waiting una get for the expectant for ground zero going forward. Very important. But before we go for the we stop first about what it on first of what happened for today. I want to start for salute all our people them for the territory. I want to salute all our business people them. I want to salute all the people that even still work for the colonial state as civil servants. I want to salute all the teachers. I want to salute everybody across the 13 states of Ambazonia. As every Monday, our people that they woke up, that they observe the Independent Day goes down with the institute down as a policy and as a pillar for a war of liberation. We want to salute all una for una commitment, for the resilience, for show a collective effort, a collective resistance, and what determination as a people. For make sure let the international community and let the public do Cameroon know. Say a grassroots movement, now the people that they ask for independence, now the people that they ask for freedom, now the people that they ask for total separation, now the people that the end that they ask that they make a demand for Cameroon's illegal occupation, the demand for end Cameroon's illegal occupation for Ambazonia. Now the people they don't rise up for not only ghost town as a means for civil disobedience, but also their right for defend themselves, for pick up guns, for pick up arms, and for defend themselves against Cameroon terrorism, against Cameroon colonialism, against Cameroon annexation, and for end Cameroon occupation for Ambazonia. So for our people them, for their ghost out of the observer, we throw una salute and one tell una thank you on behalf of the leadership and on behalf of all the defense forces them for ground. One tell una say una thank you for the civil disobedience and the collective civil resistance. Make we start with the leader a message. Yesterday, the leader for our War of Independence, Dr. Ayabacho, he sent out a message for all the Ambazonian people. Them. Yesterday, it been a Sunday, it been a July 11. He put out a message for all we make a take when I go through that message. We already post the message for here, but make a talk for our people them for ground zero. The one I'm message where the leader be put time yesterday. The leader talks say they say for Saturday will be been a number 10 day for the month of July, for this July, number 10 day, it been a Saturday 2 days ago. He the leader, he be take part for the burial for Wamami, we die for that side for Belgium. He talks in that the mami where he give, we born our brother, where they call it say Shekavi, we all wanna know it. He talks say Shekavi, now the person where he help for build the Ambazonia Defense Forces. He talks say this mami, now mami for soldier, for the liberation, and now that mami, it be been a mami, will be been a the member of Ambazonia Governing Council. He talking about Shekavi mami. He talks say as mami don't die, they don't go for bury mami. He want talk for mami say, me mami, he work a fine for the end journey. Okay? Then the leader talks say, today, na country Sunday, na a day where we take an all we for honor and for show our collective resistance against the Cameroon tyranny, for the brutal Cameroon government. It talks in a day where all we would honor the one the way they don't die. Na a day where we would give hope for the one the way they steal all our brothers and sisters where they did for the colonial concentration camps for Cameroon, their prison. The leaders also talks, they say, country Sunday when a ghost town, na a day we would make a statement about what we want them and how determined we'll be as a people for make sure say we get that independence. It talks say today when a country Sunday, it call for all our people them across the territory for them for respect the ghost town and for make sure say they be counted as part of the brave generation. Now we talk say the people of Ambazonia. It talks say last week, it meet up with some community leaders and some of the stakeholders them for a war of liberation where they come out for the state of Momo. Then it meet up with them so that they feel find a way where they feel find the solution for the differences with the forces them for Momo they get them. It talks say it will continue for find peace and for initiate peace with the people there they want peace and for the forces them for work together, live together, fight together for a common area. It also it will continue. But it also talks they say make all man prepare himself. Talks say for the people there they want war against other forces, those same people they go face the war. Okay? It talks they say 3 days ago, it talks they say the ADF, their team where they go for carry materials, they will be stopped for road by a group of small thief people them. And he asks the team, say may they take action for make sure say they recover all ADF materials. It talks say that one they be already do them, and most of the materials they don't be recovered. It talks say they say the Ambazonia Governing Council under the leadership of Dr. Ayaba, they go to put another $20,000 for this month for July for invest them for strengthen the arming of ADF forces for Bui. Okay? So that they go feel for able for stop the occupier, for stop La République du Cameroun, and they go fit for able for waiting with the territories that would control them, they get better control for they. The leader talks say all forces, they don't be authorized for defend themselves and may they use proportionate force for defend themselves against any other people them, any other group where come for can attack them, and any group where try for make the community may they not live in peace. Any defense group we go attack the ADF, make they use proportionate force, may they take preemptive actions, and may they take defensive actions for defend themselves and for take out any threats against them and any threat against the Ambazonia communities and any threats against the integrity of our struggle. He talks, they say, he call on all the stakeholders them for Bui for accept the invitation for a meeting for talk about how the forces they feel work together. Then the leader end a message. He talks, they say, he want thank one Ambazonia where he don't give more than $50,000 to the governing council of Ambazonia, where he give a cash donation, he make a cash donation of more than $50,000 to the Ambazonia governing council, so that they will use them for increase the size of the special forces and for consolidate against them for ground. The leader talks this morning, now the biggest one-time donation where any Ambazonia they don't ever give for a war of independence. Now the message that will be come out for the leader, the office. Now, as all wanna know, wa Mami Irene, now in this, I put them for here. Wa Mami Irene. Mami Irene, now in this for here. Mami Irene Zia. Now Mami, for our big brother, where they call it say Sheikh Kavi. We all wanna know it. About 2 weeks ago, Mami Irene, he died for Belgium because he be dede with a Pekin Sheikh Kavi. And when I know saying about 2 months ago, Sheikh Kavi lost a papa, so die. 2 months after, just 2 weeks ago, our big brother, a big soldier, Sheikh Kavi, is also lost a Mami. As when I read them for the leader a message. Mami for Sheikh Kavi. Now Mami we a help for born for give we this Pekin, this boy, this our brother, this our uncle, where they call it Sheikh Kavi. And when I sabi Sheikh Kavi, now the person where he come out for Europe, he go right for ground zero, take all the risk, leave a woman and a Pekin, leave a job, go for ground zero sometimes for 6 months. Now he be the first person. Now he build the first camp for Ambazonia. Now he put the first stick for ground for build the camps them. For start for build the training camps them for daddy. Now Sheikh Kavi put the first stick for start for build those camps. Now Sheikh Kavi train all the generals them for ground. Now Sheikh Kavi trainer. He don't go for ground zero more than 5 times since this war start. He don't go for ground zero more than 5 times. All the soldier them, all the generals, all the commanders, na Sheikh Kavi train them. Even soldiers of Sokadev, na so Sheikh Kavi, he trained them through the ADF system. So Sheikh Kavi Yiwan, he don't train more than 7,000 ADF soldiers. He don't train more than 7,000 ADF soldiers. Yiwan. So in Mami, it be been a Mami where he born a warrior, he born a liberator. So Mami die, Mami Irene die, Mami Sheikh Kavi die, not been a small die. And that way, it touch all way. And as a result, the mommy not be only born, now the papa, we create ADF. But the mommy born, now a liberator. It give you a leader, a person. We get character, we get integrity, a belief on principles, a belief on effective leadership, a belief for the Ambazonian people them for do the right thing, for follow a strategy, and it be belief. Say the time don't come when not only self-defense could liberate the Ambazonian people them. And that's why it's time for take the risk, for go for ground zero, recruit soldiers, and then train them. So Mami Shea Kavi, he died. And that way he touched all Ambazonia. So Saturday, it will be at the 10th for July. It will be at the day where they bury Mami Shea Kavi. But they know just bury like an ordinary person. The leader for a war of independence and the entire leadership of AGOFC and ADF. They go for Belgium. They travel from all places where they did. They go for Belgium for make sure say Mami Shea Kavi they get a state burial, even if they bury her for Belgium. But the Ambazonian people, they go give Mami the burial where Mami deserve them. Make her put now the pictures for up here. And the leaders and that for AGOFC and ADF leadership, all them, they go for Belgium, all them, they go there as a family because the organization AGOFC and the defense arm wing, when are ADF, the people them, we need to see each other like just say we just belong to an organization. We see each other as comrades. We see each other as brothers and sisters. We see each other as people that are there for a mission. We see each other as a team. But most importantly, that the love, that friendship, that togetherness. That's why the organization be very special because of the kind leadership where the organization get them. When this kind of thing happen for a family member of the organization the be there for that person on behalf of the Ambazonian people them for honor not only the family member we don't die, but for show our appreciation, for show our love, for show our caring, for be there for a teammate, for a friend, for a brother, for a sister, during a personal time of the biggest loss where every person forget them. Now the thing this make AGOFC the organization will be. Now the thing that make ADF the defense structure will be. The people that they we need to just see what soldiers them. Like just soldiers them. We see what soldiers them as brothers and sisters. That's why Dr. Ayaba and the top leadership team all man fly for Belgium for go give Mami an Ambazonian state burial for honor Mami for all the sacrifices we Mami don't make up for the Ambazonian people them. For honor Mami for giving the Ambazonian people them a picking with they like Shea Kavi. We get that fire for a heart. For stand for the people them. Take risk for the people them. So it be been at the day for go celebrate not only the life we Mami don't live on, but now the legacy we don't live on through a picking. And how proud Mami be for live, for see all the injustices and all the pain where ye and the other generations that we don't go through. where ye and all the other mammy them for Ambazonia, they don't go through. They are picking, they don't woke up for end those injustices, for end the pain, for end the suffering, for end the torture, for end the misery on the Ambazonian people them because of Cameroon colonialism of Ambazonia, because of Cameroon annexation of Ambazonia, because of Cameroon occupation of Ambazonia, because of Cameroon's terrorism on the Ambazonian people them. It be been a moment for honor a hero. For it been a moment for honor a heroine, a leader, a mammy who will leave a legacy, for live, for see a picking, and all the other Ambazonia picking them, for rise up, for finish the work within the be started. Mommy, we say thank you for the man where you don't born and where they call it Sheikh Harvey. Thank you for giving that kind of leader. Thank you for the way you raise it and the kind of values where you put them for your heart. Thank you for the encouragement and the prayers we be the pray for the organization, pray for the leaders, pray for the forces, and for be there as a pillar of wisdom. On behalf of the Ambazonian people them, I want to tell you thank you. I want to tell you thank you for who you be and what you don't leave for behind. And as the leader talking for Belgium, and I promise they go finish the work for make sure say the freedom will not be live for Siam. You're picking them, your grand picking them, your great grand picking them, your aunties, your uncles, or your quarter picking them, your village, your town, your country, Ambazonia. They go live for enjoy that freedom. The land, it will become free. Your spirit, it will come back from Ambazonia and experience and celebrate and live for that freedom. So, on behalf of the leader for our war of independence, on behalf of the leadership of Ambazonia Governing Council, on behalf of the leadership of Ambazonia Defense Forces, on behalf of General Efang, the Supreme Commander of Ambazonia Defense Forces, on behalf of Benedict Kwa, the Chairman for the Ambazonia War Council and Ambazonia Defense Forces, on behalf of Lieutenant General Popo, on behalf of all Ambazonia, all ADF generals and for ground, I want to stand for here, for tell Mami, say on behalf of all we wish Mami a safe journey. We know say all we, when they don't reach for this stage, when this kind Mami we pass away, they always turn for become angels, for all who will stay their life, for them for guide we, for protect we, and for lead we from the realm of the spirits. So Mami, go well. Now Mami, a cough on this, with the wrap with the national Ambazonian flag, before they give Mami that final farewell, and for them for give you, as they call them, the befitting state burial where Mami deserve. Now who will be this as a people? Now who will be this as an institution? Now who will be this as an organization? And the thing that it make we, the organization will be, the thing that make we, the institution will be. It be founded on core values. It be founded on this kind of values them, like love and caring for families. When something happens for one person, the organization will be there. Because without that person, the organization will not exist. Without Sheikh Harvey, the group, the defense group will get on today, the defense structure will get on today, called ADF, it not exist. So now who will be this? Now what does that mean for be a member of AGOFC or for be under the Ambazonia Defense Forces. Now, make a take una, bring una updates for the place where over the weekend, a lot of heat, it be there on the ground, a lot of noise, it be there on the ground, a lot of noise be there for social media, a lot of talks be there for social media. Once again, the agents of provocation, the agents will they be sponsored and they be controlled by colonial CPDM elites for instigate fighters and for cause infighting and social chaos for outside. Once again, they fail for their agenda, they fail for their narrative. Once again, the spirit of Ambazonian people, the intelligence of our people them, the wiseness of our people them, the understanding of our people them, the maturity of their people them, it make them the agents of blackmail, the agents of noise making, the agents of empty talk. Cameroon's agent, they fail for their agenda, for instrumentalized fighters, so that they cause this chaos, so that Ambazonians, they will remain not only for fight and quarrel among themselves. This weekend, the way we conduct ourselves, the way we handle ourselves as leaders, when they be instigated, it shows how powerful we be, how mature we be, how steady we be, and how solid we be as a people. We need to be shake. Events, they need to shake we. Noise, they need to shake we. Because what we do, it be based on a solid foundation. Over the weekend as well, there is a new standard where we set up. Going forward, the path forward for all the defense forces them on the ground and the Ambazonian people them for diaspora. There is a new standard where the Ambazonian people need for the expect them going forward. The Ambazonia Governing Council, under the leadership of Dr. Ibacho, the policy where they don't implement them and explain them for the Ambazonian people, now saying a collective effort for liberate the land. Now a responsibility of every single Ambazonian. But it must be done with a code of conduct. There is a certain way where the leader don't tell the Ambazonian people for conduct themselves. How we conduct ourselves, it will make the liberation be shorter, or it will make the liberation, it will be longer. How we conduct ourselves, it will make many lives, they will be saved, or many lives, they will be lost. How we conduct ourselves, it will make them, ground zero will be more stable, or ground zero will become more chaotic. Either there will be infighting go plenty, or there will be no infighting. Either forces they collaborate, or forces they fight among themselves. Either forces they work together, or they work in total isolation. Either forces they pursue a common agenda for the liberation of homeland, or they pursue diverse agendas for the interest of Cameroon, the interest of CPDM colonial elites, the interest of cartels, and the interest of criminals, or for the interest for the greater good for Ambazonia. So what will be that new standard? It don't be too long for the Ambazonian people them. It don't take the Ambazonian people too long a time for rise up against empty noise, empty promises, empty talk. Okay? It don't take the Ambazonian people them too long. And as a result, unfortunately, misguided forces where they don't be instigated, instrumentalized, forces where they don't use them, they go fall victims to these noise makers. Those forces, they go fall victims. So the new standard who is set up. Now a standard say on the ground, the Ambazonia Defense Forces, they go seek a path for work with the forces where they want work with the ADF for the collective oneness for liberate Ambazonia faster. Now ADF, their policy that they go work with defense groups where they align themselves and their objective for the liberation be very clear. ADF will work with those forces, collaborate with those forces for the collective effort for liberate Ambazonia. The Ambazonia the defense forces, they pursue now a policy of collective effort. We reject any group on the ground where it allow themselves to be manipulated by people the way they be answerable to CPDM elites, where they be answerable to Ambazonian colonial elites, where they don't benefit from the system, where their families they don't benefit from the system, their pikin they don't benefit from the system, and they don't see the Ambazonia War of Independence as the new catch for gain access, for maintain their elitism within the Ambazonia society. So these colonial elites, now then they be responsible for engineer this chaos through their agents provocateurs and through their agents. The ADF it reject any group where it listen for these paid agents, any force where they take instructions from these people that they cause fighters, may they go attack other ones, where they give instructions, where they preach hate, infighting, kill this one. You know, come out for that community, come out for here. We will come after if you be a fighter and you fight under this group, we will go kill your family. Every fighter on the ground must reject these people then. And if you be answerable to those people, and you take advice from those people, and you listen for those people, make you know say they say you dey on your own. You dey on your own. For Ambazonia liberation, there is no room for these petite criminals. There is no room for people that give instructions, make fighters kill fighter. There is no room. There's no room for tribalism. For talk say because this defense force, it be created, it be led, it be created or organized by, let's say, because as you command manu, you a fighter because as you command manu, and as you dey under the governing council of Ambazonia, and the governing council of Ambazonia, the president of governing council of Ambazonia, not Dr. Ayeba, because he come out for the great state of Mezam, we no go agree make ADF exist for Manu. Or we no go agree make the ADF exist for Momo. We no go agree make ADF exist for Lebialem. We no go agree make ADF exist for Coupe. We no go agree make ADF exist for Meme. All such people, they must be rejected. Ambazonian, they no go tolerate any act of tribalism. The genocide on the Ambazonian people, them, it need to target people that are based on their tribes. When they go kill people them for Kajifu, they kill people them for Agbokem German. They kill people them for Egbeko. The people for Kajifu they speak Boki. People for Agbokem German they speak Ejagam and Boki as well. People for Egbeko, for Niemanfe, they speak Bayangi. The people for Bisongabang, they speak Bayangi. People for Kwakwa, I think they speak Nabafo, if I'm not mistaken. People for Kumbo, for Kikaikom, the villages where they born am. All across Ambazonia, the genocide need to kill people now based on their tribe. The genocide, the colonialism, the terrorism on the Ambazonian people, it target any person in an Ambazonia. Ayoktabe, come out for side. It come out for Eyimojok, for the great state of Manu. Usa Tassan Wifa come out. Usa Mancho BBC come out. Usa Pen Terence come out. Usa come out. They come out for the different states. The occupation not target them because of their tribe. It target them because they stand up for Ambazonia. I will rise up for fight for Ambazonia, not because of a tribe. I will rise up for fight for the collective freedom of Ambazonia. It fight for all the 13 states. It lead battle for all the 13 states. The greatest battles we fight are for Manu. Ikomona Manu. The greatest battles we fight are for Meme. Ikomo Meme. The occupation. Now the entire Ambazonia be under occupation. Not been a tribe. Not been a village. Not been a state. Now CPDM elites, they engineer all those agents for use tribalism. Just as La Republic used tribalism for divide Ambazonians. The same CPDM elites, the one carry their tribalism where they don't use them for divide Ambazonians, for keep Ambazonian people them weak under common occupation. Now the same thing they want to use them. When Ambazonia don't defeat Cameroon, they will can't inject their ugly heads, can't inject their tribalistic ugly heads for use them for slow our people them down. Not be this time around. We'll get bad news for them. Not be this time around. The forces, now only 2 places, they did for Ambazonia, with tribalism, it be alive. One, the Momo cartel and the Bui cartel. Now only 2 places. Since 2018, now only 2 places they did for Ambazonia where they don't succeed for use tribalism for keep infighting. For the state of Bui and for the state of Momo. And not only 1 place for Momo, not only for Guzang. Not only for Guzang. Why? And if you see those same places with this small noise, it come up for the those same people they never ever fit for put even 10 guns for those places. Those same people they never fit for buy 10 guns and give them for the fighters of TTA. So what did they claim? What did they claim for? Wetin dey claim am? If you fit make noise, no be you go match your noise with some small action. You go match your noise with investment on defense. If you want liberation and you talk so you get forces, why you need to arm them? As we don't show now video a few days ago, some of the forces for TTA, they go mount a checkpoint for Bessie every week for get money for chop. Guns, they don't get them. Bullets, they don't get. But you know, hear the highest noise. Commando not get up to 4 AK for place with the hide for Numbeng. The small forces them for Guzan, they don't even get 3 AKs. But you go hear the highest noise. When we deploy a contingent of the stabilization forces for Guzan, about 50 of them, they go there. Why? They not take out the 3 or 4 or 5 TTA forces where they be there. Because you know if you take out a soldier on the battlefield and you think this is because you want gain total control, you must take out other forces. You make yourself weak. Those forces, they be useful. Now AMBAZONIA picking than that, where they don't rise up for fight for the liberation. So once the ADF forces, they go there, the first thing what they do, they call them, say, my brothers them. Our brothers them, when I come, they go shidon. They shidon, they talk. They say, we don't overhear noise. When I don't hear, they tell us will be this, will be that. We don't come here for stay with Una. Or we go stay for this Guzan together. We go defend Guzan together. We go fight for Guzan together. Una join we as we don't come for join una. For work hand in hand. No man not there for control you. We no one make you come under the ADF. We not continue for be TTA. We want to respect each other. Build trust. Build confidence. We want work together. Even though we are not plenty. But we are small, we are size. Not been about size. Now about the fact say if we are there we are 5. And we will come with 50. Now collectively we don't be under 55. So we'll be stronger together. Now ADF philosophy this. ADF believes that every other group on the ground and every soldier on the ground matter. You take it out, we go become weak. You take it out just because you believe say they say, now you must gain power. Now AMBAZONIA become weak. You feel gain your temper, you feel gain for the moment. You feel say you be control, but you don't become weak because you expose yourself and you become more vulnerable. That's why the standard we set them. Now the standard we don't bring them for Guzan. We go work with the way they want work with the ADF. Collaborate with the way they want collaborate. For work together. But we go pursue reconciliation and peace as a strategy for work together. But the AMBAZONIA Defense Forces, it no go tolerate and it no go spare any person where it listen for people the way they send them, may they attack the ADF. You try them, you go lose your head. The ADF no go tolerate. It no go tolerate, say forces, they go attack forces for seize their weapons. Or forces, they go buy their chop. And then other forces, they seize their chop. The AMBAZONIA Defense Forces no go tolerate them. Any place where that kind of thing happen for inside AMBAZONIA, the supreme commander of Ambazonia Defense Forces, he go send the stabilization forces. Whether you didn't for Akwaya, they go hunt you down. Whether you didn't for Kwakwa, they go hunt you down. Whether you didn't for how did they call them? Bessie, they go hunt you down. Whether you didn't for any place for inside the BLM, they go still hunt you down. Okay? Whether you didn't for Nguti for Coupe, you go be hunted down. ADF, now they stand at this on the ground. We go maintain a firm policy against inside attack. Whether now another group, it go attack another force on the ground, we not be na ADF. We not listen fine. Any other group, it go attack another group, even if that group not be na ADF. The Ambazonia Defense Forces, it go respond for go defend the group where they under attack by another group where they instigate them for the stability on the ground. For make sure say the Ambazonia liberation, the people they not take and they turn them for some small thing for ethnic fight. They not take and they turn them for some small thing where they go use forces against forces for cause the Ambazonian people may they feel frustrated. ADF is not going to tolerate any of those nonsense on the ground. Now only one enemy is there for ground. One. In terms of Ambazonia. Cameroon occupation, Cameroon colonialism, Cameroon terrorism, Cameroon annexation. Now the enemy that. The enemy, Cameroon gendarme, Cameroon B, Cameroon police, Cameroon army, Cameroon secret intelligence agents. Part of that enemy. Now all the colonial administrators and their Black Legs Association. Now the enemies in that. Any force where you do on the ground and you call yourself Ambazonia fighter, your duty now for take the enemy out for place where you dey. If you get a problem, you get a misunderstanding with any other force and any other commander, not been a gun be a solution. Not been a for go kill some soldier, some commander because you get a misunderstanding. All una get each other's phone number. Just like last month, the Supreme Commander of Ambazonia Defense Forces, he give Commando a call. He say, hey, Commando, for a long time, tension don't be between the TTA and the ADF based on the history of past happenings. He call it. He say, time don't reach. I go like make me and you, general to general, commander to commander, fighter to fighter. I go like make me and you meet up face to face with community elders. We call community elders. We meet up face to face. We settle our differences. We shake hands and we offer kola nut for each other. For start to work together. For all we for live for peaceful coexistence. For inside the state of Mumu. For we for be able for trust each other and for fight together. Make we meet up. When we meet up, we make public declaration as leaders. Say that things we don't agree on and all the forces, they must comply. Because now the new standard this will one set down. Now leadership that. Up till today, Commando never accept that invitation. For seek reconciliation and peace and peaceful coexistence. Why he never accept the reconciliation? Because when they accept the reconciliation and the forces they start to work together, the colonial elites, when then they create these problems through instruments like Iringwa, the Sakos, the Anus, their agenda go die. Now the whole thing that. So if Commando be a genuine general, a genuine fighter, and he not be controlled by these people that be controlled by CPDM colonial elites, why he need to take off? He need to take up the offer for meet with community leaders and for the two generals and for Shidon with community leaders, sort out the differences and seek peace and reconciliation for the state of Momo. Now ADF this. We always want lead our people them to the light. We always want to resolve conflicts. It be unfortunate for the soldier we die for, the Bui warrior soldier we die for Bui. It be an unfortunate situation. It's unfortunate. So you got for die. Because they did listen for people they were to be controlled by CPDM colonial elites. They go misguide them. They go instrumentalize them. They go instigate them. We not take AD of their things. Oh, they don't go buy things. We not seize them. So that they create an act of provocation. So when they call you, say, okay, you don't take what things them, bring the things them back. And you tell people that say, now excuse my friend, say fuck you. Eh? You tell them, say fuck you. I know say picking the watch, not just a language for me for show the seriousness of the situation. Not because okay, we use insensitive language. We know say we're picking the watch. You go tell them say may they get out. You go tell them say may they get lost. And you take you mount checkpoint for road. Collect other forces, their materials. And when they call you for, say, hey, release those materials. Now, war would they? Everything will order them. That means we need them immediately. And you tell them, say, may they get lost. You tell them, say, who they be? Really? Gone are those days. With some cowards, they go shit down for some place. And they take advice. We go lead to their own forces, their death. Now the price of stupidity that. Now the price for being a coward that. Now that boy don't die. Now don't lose. Why na a Bui warrior soldier? Ben AMBAZONIA lost. Is supposed to reach to that extent? No. Now the consequences of stupidity that people they be driven by ego. You want to show say because you carry gun and you get a few forces around you. Now you don't become a King Kong. When only you must leave. Or that they're not supposed to leave. Very interesting mindset. And you forget, say, for place where you day, you will be invaded at any time, even by the colonial enemy. And you go need backup. Now, when they start for fight you for that side, you go to run the camp outside where ADF day. And you go expect, make ADF give you backup. Or make it give you cover. You know, a very interesting mindset where people they get them. The survival of forces on the ground, it be dependent on this, the other force with for your corner. You take them out, you become more vulnerable. AMBAZONIA be too big to be controlled by one force. Even the AMBAZONIA defense forces, they not get the capability for fight the entire territory. They don't get them. Even Cameroon military, With Cameroon government, with all the money where they get them, and all the soldiers where they get them, they not get the means for being able to fight for all the 13 states. They not get them. Not to talk of, so even the ADF with all its size, with all the weapons where they get them, with all their forces them, the ADF not feel liberate Ambazonia by itself. Okay? They feel play a big part for choke Cameroon, for the center core, but the peripheral forces, they be needed. That's why ADF get that policy. For peaceful coexistence. If you don't want to collaborate, fine. Stay on your lane. Do your thing, but not disturb other people them. If the people they under you, where you don't go, say you want to be under them, they no fit supply you. You no go to use other forces for do your harvest. La Republic get plenty places where if you be brave enough, you be strong enough, you go launch an attack on a Cameroon checkpoint and do your harvest for your own materials so you need them. ADF no go ever be some person, a farm for can harvest materials. If you try them, the general will come for your neck. You take ADF with one gun, arrest ADF soldier for some place and take a gun. Now a matter of time they will get you. Even if you cross, you go for Nigeria. Now a matter of time, they go so find you, even if not for Nigeria. Even if you cross after 2-3 years, you come for diaspora. That story, it go still haunt you for place where you dey. Now ADF, una the joke. So now they stand at this. The ADF no go take nonsense from misguided forces. You want to be a fighter, you got to be intelligent. You want to be a fighter, you got to get a strong heart for accept, for work with other people them. Alright? Now liberation, no be na a contest, no be na for football match between this village versus that village. It concerns the lives, it concerns your life, and it concerns another person's life. And it concerns the lives of the Ambazonian people. So if you be misguided, if you be misinformed, if you did listen for blackmail and propaganda, it be up to you. Now your choice. Stupidity na a choice. For being a coward, na a choice. Now also a choice for being intelligent. Now also a choice for being a hero. You either want to be a hero or you want to be a coward. You got to be a choice. And if you pick gun, say you want to fight for liberation, why you go turn yourself into a coward? Or if you become a hero? Don't become a coward. From person who say you want to fight for Ambazonia, don't become a coward. Until he repent. Until he repent. Any act of provocation on the ADF, it will be met with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times more power. But the ADF, they don't get none of we. When I don't ever hear the leader or Benedictwa or Capo Daniel or Sheikh Kavi, it can't come out. It's a ADF, they go kill other fighters. It need to exist for the organization because they operate under a code of conduct. The Ambazonia Defense Forces, now the only group, now the only defense group for Ambazonia where it be recognized by the international community, say that the fight now for independence of Ambazonia. Now the only group. When I listen very carefully, the Ambazonia Defense Forces now the only defense group for Ambazonia where it be recognized as a defense force. The ADF now the only defense group for Ambazonia will be recognized by the international community as a defense force. Because now the only group where it fall under a political leadership. Now the only group where it get a direct responsibility under a political leadership. There is no other defense group on the ground where it be recognized with a command and control structure. They know them and they fall under a political leadership where they be directly aligned. There is none. There's none. So that's why the ADF, it be who it be internationally. So people, if you make all this noise, but that's the fact. That's why it gets such international reputation. And so the danger where people that they face are, now for things just because you create a small defense group for ground, people they take all these groups and they give them all kind of name. Just because you call some forces on name, it don't make them who they be. Okay? They want not be against any person, but the Ambazonian people need to get them for their head. These two when I call I say restoration forces, not being a force. It not being a force. Okay? The restoration forces, na a collaborative structure, is not a force. It not get command and control. It not get any direct political affiliation for any movement. People that they just claim their work, not being a force. All right? Same with AMF. AMF not being a force. Now a loose collaboration of small defense groups. They take all of them and then they call themselves AMF. They don't get any direct political alignment with the political movement. What people need to understand these things. But you start to ask yourself, why? Now the interesting thing that this will need to know. Once we start to get this understanding, a lot of the problems that we did for ground, they will start to be resolved. I try to give you this extra insight, extra understanding, because now some of the complexity then this way, it make Ambazonia they be carried away. Until you structure a force. Since last year, we don't tell these people, they made a structure those forces so that may become transparent to the Ambazonian people and to the international community as to what this group they be about. Until you do them, those groups, they not their agenda to the Ambazonian people, their agenda to the world, it be very vague. When I take this education very seriously, it will help una plenty. Just because people they say they want to fight for independence, until they get a clear political allegiance and the command and control structure be established, they not be a force. Not just people the way they just carry out actions of agitation, as I don't explain for una many times. It be important more all we understand this thing because it will help we for the move forward collectively together. You will ask yourself, say after 5 years, why forces they don't want to align themselves so something will be so clear? Because the Governing Council of Ambazonia, now the only movement with a complete charter where it clearly express the purpose for their existence. The purpose for the existence of Governing Council of Ambazonia now for deliver independence for the Ambazonian people them. Now for lead the liberation of Ambazonia, and therefore they create the Ambazonia Defense Forces for fulfill the purpose for the creation of the Governing Council of Ambazonia. Not here. They create the Governing Council of Ambazonia now for lead the liberation of Ambazonia, for give the Ambazonian people them independence and freedom. So they create the ADF as the arm wing of AGOVC for fulfill the agenda of the liberation. It be clear out to every international organization, whether not to the UN, or to the European Union, whether not to the African Union or to the US, whether not to France, for any other organization, the AGOVC lay out a purpose, a mission, a objectives, a agenda. They make them very clear. That's why La République is shake when you call the name ADF. That's why Pobia the shake when they call the name Ayaba. Because now the only movement with a clear mission for liberating Ambazonia. The only one. And they spell them out. It be documented. They found them now for achieve this purpose. And the purpose that for existence. That's why Dr. Abba be the way be as a leader of AGOVC. That's why the vice president be the way be. That's why the organization be focused for that mission. A focus for that vision for the Ambazonian people. Then. That's why the ADF, they focus for the roadmap. People feel play their games because of the political interest and benefits with the revolution don't create them for within whatever happened within Cameroon. So we understand say a lot of forces on the ground. And not talk say they need to fight for Ambazonia independence. So we talk say as long as they never fall under political structures, political leadership, where it spell the purpose for the creation of those forces, the purpose, and it define them to the forces and to the world, and they fall under a political movement where it stand out, it declare itself as a movement for the liberation of Ambazonia. Not before the restoration of anything. You go only restore what it exist. You feel only restore until it exist. So what if you don't exist for Ambazonia, where the one restore them? So when you call yourself, say, you be a restoration force, what you want restore them? The only thing we don't exist, Ambazonia be being a UN trust territory. Now that one you want restore them? From 1961, Ambazonia be being a federated state within Cameroon. Now that one you want restore them as West Cameroon because now the only thing I feel restore them. So when one of the people need for woke up for their head. What are you restoring? Now the hypnotic language this where they use them for manipulate the Ambazonian people. Now the vague linguistics and this way they use them. They use these vague linguistics for hypnotize and manipulate the Ambazonian people. Then. Ask yourself, what was Ambazonia where we need for restaurant? Which be there? Ambazonia never ever exist as a state on its own. Since they come up for Enugu, they can establish for 1954, establish a government, their own government. They work out of the Eastern House of Assembly. You want to go restore now Ambazonia will be under the Eastern House of Assembly for Enugu? Or you want to go restore now Ambazonia will be still be under the British trusteeship and as they become back for Boya, for can create Ambazonia Parliament and the House of Chiefs. They be still be under the British trusteeship for self-governance, for prepare them for independence. But the independence will not be ever be. So what are you restoring? What are you restoring? You feel only restore as until it already exist. Now the manipulation this. That's why we tell una be very careful. When una hear this name restoration forces. You feel only restore what exist. You want restore West Cameroon? We've been at the federal Cameroon because now the only thing they feel restore. The distinction need to be very clear. We need to put all this inside for all now because as we talk, we set the standard for ground. Ground zero no go be manipulated. Ground zero no go be compromised. As long as the ADF is stand, poor beer a worst nightmare now the ADF. If we see him, yesterday, yeah. they deploy more than about 200 forces for inside Bamenda. Multiple brigades of the ADF, including some of the special forces. They come for Bamenda yesterday. Yesterday be hot for Bamenda. When I don't hear them for CRTV, when I don't hear them, I don't talk for outside here. From the information we get them, the key 7 La République du Cameroun, B and police. When I don't hear them, they don't talk for outside here. Whenever ADF carry out an action, they go try to cover them as much as possible because they're the only force who stand for independence. We need to understand these things. Because the more that they talk about the ADF, then the more the possibility of independence. When hear? Because the more, if they accept, they see, if the whole world start to hear about the actions of the ADF, then the possibility of independence be greater. But when when ADF carry out actions, they cover them. And when other small other things they happen for ground, you see La République go report and why? That's why they go report which never be defined. They go report and promote actions them for ground when agitative actions for forces where they not get any political alignment. We need to understand all these things so that when I start to make the choices. But as for the AMBAZONIA Governing Council and AMBAZONIA Defense Forces, they will lead the charge of the liberation, as General I will be talking. That's why for we believe, say, if you just fight Cameroon through agitation, if you just kill a couple of La République du Cameroun Ekelebe forces. No. As we push them out, we must build the army. Because the missing component, the missing ingredient, will make AMBAZONIA be occupied by La République du Cameroun. Now because the AMBAZONIan leaders were forefathers, they work out of the Eastern House, as they can't set up a self-government for Boya. They not be build an army. From 1954, before La République, the one gained their independence for January 1, 1960, they already built their army. They already built their secret services. They already built their intelligence services. Ask yourself, why AMBAZONIA not build an army? Why Pa Foncha did not be build an army? Why Pa Endel did not be build an army? Why Pa Jua did not be build an army? Because the only reason AMBAZONIA be occupied, they not be get an army. A state, a people where they go for independence, they be ready for independence, but they not build an army to defend institutions of AMBAZONIA, to defend the AMBAZONIan people. The only thing they be build the mobile wing police, and they not be armed. We're there for the same place. We're there for the crossroad between the past and the future. And we're not going to make that mistake. That's why the ADF, they create the ADF as the army of the people for defend the people, their interests, for defend the people, their aspirations, for defend the people, their hopes, and for defend the people, their destiny. That's how we build an army. We are not messing around. We're not going to play this social media game. It go take hard work. And at the hard work, we do. We'll be very project-oriented people. We tell them about the stabilization forces in 3 months. Bam! We conceive them. We come for now. Share the idea, share the concept. Bam! In 3 months, we deliver the results on the ground. A project, the first most successful project, where we conceive them, we execute them, we deliver them to the AMBAZONIan people. Now, every month, we increase the size of those forces. We must build an army. We must build the army for defend AMBAZONIA interest. Because time will come. You go for negotiating table. Now by what you get. If you get just small boys in, who you think say they carry gun, and you not get a professional force where you feel project them as your leverage for negotiation, then what you go get? You know the answer. Cameroon will still determine the future because it get the army for impose peace, security, and stability. You must build your own as a counter. You must build your own for tell the world, say no, we will provide peace, security, and stability. The only reason why they leave Cameroon may continue for be for AMBAZONIA because it get the army for guarantee peace, security, and stability. Now with the security not there again, now with the peace not there again, now with the stability not there again, the peace not there again, the security not there again, why would not fit rise up and be the empowering alternative for filling the gap? And this now the place this way, AGOFC and its defense force, the AMBAZONIA defense forces, they be the leader because they follow a strategy, they follow a roadmap, they follow a vision, they follow a purpose. That's how they do these things. So that's why you must trust a leadership where you get a vision. I don't tell you now. A people who do not get a leadership with a vision will perish. A people who do not get a leadership with a purpose, they will perish. A people who do not get a leadership where you get a sound roadmap, where all man feel understand what they want to achieve them, what they want to do them, they go perish. Cameroon don't perish for the last 40 years. They not get a leader with a vision. The leader not ever provide a vision for the country. They not provide a purpose for the country. They not provide an economic development roadmap for the country. So for 40 years, the people, they don't perish. This minister, they do it on. That minister, they do it on. That SDO, they do it on. That governor, they do it on. This policeman, they behave this way. Army man go behave that way. Gendarme man go behave that way. Because there is no vision. Because there is no structure. Because there is no purpose. The whole thing be chaotic. Life for people them, it go be as chaotic when they not get an organized, sound leadership. For give the people them a sense of direction. For give the people them a compelling vision. For give the people them something will be so invigorating, so exciting, something where you want to commit yourself for walk through for achieving for the people them. When the leader come up, the idea for the stabilization forces, it don't be debated within AGOFC for a long time. That's until they don't debate them for 6, 7, 8 months before. And one time we did for meeting with the leader, I tell the leader, say, we don't over talk about this thing. You don't take away for place where we go, all the things we want to do and we don't do. Now we don't see what did happen for ground and we see what did happen for diplomatic scene. Make we challenge ourselves as an organization. And for this meeting, it be very tense. I said that the time don't reach we go for challenge ourselves, so we do this thing. And argument be there. No, the AMBAZONIA people, they know already all this kind of thing. I'm like, no. Mr. President, you don't always tell we say people that they buy idea when it makes sense. When you will offer the greatest benefit for them. So too the stabilization forces. 2 days after, he called me and said, okay, now you don't insist, say we must launch this project now. I say, yes. He said, explain them. We should don't for meeting. We explain all things. He said, okay. Now, man, we get sense, Dr. Abana, very sensible man. He said, you be so convicted, you be so convinced, you get such a conviction about this project. I said, yes. He said, I know you overlike for working on a project. If project not there, I say I had this scatter. I say, yes, that's what me at the function. We'll be driven by projects so that we'll move because with projects, you feel no place where you day and you know what to do for move for the next step. He said, okay. He come outside, I can't tell you now. He said, they appoint me as the project coordinator for the stabilization forces. We take the leader a vision. Can't explain them, sell them for our people them, what you go do, what you need for do, what you go accomplish them, and how you go take way for place where they forward. Leadership. Not be the leader work. Now we get for take the vision and implement them. My goal, like the press secretary for the leader, now for help for implement the vision we get for the AMBAZONIA people. Now for help for implement the vision we get for the organization on behalf of the AMBAZONIA people. So my passion about AMBAZONIA is because the vision be too exciting. The vision be too compelling. With all the things that we do, for me, now the most compelling thing is where any person, if he dedicate a time, dedicate a life, because now something will be so big beyond our personal existence. Now something will end all this, because the reason that because it go end all the suffering for our people them. It go end the poverty. Imagine all we don't grow up. See how old we don't mature be. Why people not still get water for drink? Why people will not still get light? Why begin to still go schools under dusty conditions for this 21st century? I will get all the resources. I will get what it take. You not fit see this kind of destitution them for 8 million people. And you know woke up for humble yourself under this kind of leadership. The man don't get 30 years of experience. Who say me I come out? I not get the experience. But just like all the things that I don't learn now, with some of the best experts for the world, some of my teachers are the best experts for the world. When I want to become a coach, I find a mentor and I actually say, look, I really like this thing. It didn't like my passion. It tell me say, we have to find the best experts and teachers for the world. You go study under them. It will take you far for a short period of time. They direct me to Robbins. And it didn't make me, I become one of the best students for Robbins. I studied with Robbins for 3 years. From Robbins, they send me, I go meet up Mr. Tad James. Go study under James. And then they tell me, say, for place we did now, with all the skills we don't acquire them, you don't be on top, one of the top experts for this field right now. But you get to go spend time for study under Linder. I go spend a couple of years for study under Linder. Through the systems of modeling, leadership psychology modeling, for model the best expert. If you want to be a golfer today, if you go for the best school for go learn golf, it will take you years. You go only get a theory. But if you go learn under Tiger Woods, when are the best expert, an experience, an achiever, we don't achieve more than any other golfer. You go learn faster and you go develop the competence neurologically, behaviorally, because you go acquire the skills of greatness within you for a short period of time. They call it modeling. You go take Tiger Woods in 20-something years for golf. You compress them into 2-3 years. In 20-something years of experience, trial by error, pain, and learning and development, now you go develop the greatness within 3 years. I take Robbins' experience for 40 years for coach the Clintons, the George Bush, kings, queens, including Princess Diana, including Mother Teresa, including Nelson Mandela. Okay? Mandela be coached by Robbins. When am I teacher? So when you take a 40 years of experience and you study other that kind of person, where you don't transform the lives of many millions of people, including head of states, you go develop the mastery, the competence, and the insight for a short period of time. And the purpose why you acquire all these skills, not be for can shit on. So you get skills and you get knowledge. Now for take and for transform a society. So when I look around Ambazonia liberation, when I be just be an ordinary Ambazonian activist for try for use some of these things to educate our people them and empower our people them, I get for look around. Now which of these leader them I feel supportive for move our people them forward and do my own contribution with which I'd already acquired them over the last decade. Now which leader? So I look around, the first thing will be defining. I not be define a leader, an Ambazonian leader now based on tribalism. Because my training, it not fit allow me make a process tribalism. My training as a leader, it not get anything to do with tribalism. I did look now one thing, effectiveness. I did look the second most important thing, character. Character at the core. I start for look, which of all these leaders them, it be the most competent for this area for liberation. Which of all these leaders them, they get the character for stand the heat where were people the face them and the heat will go come because they stand for Ambazonia. Which of them? I do my research. With my background, it be very easy for just filter through these leaders. So I just filter through research. And it became very evident. Said Dr. Ayabacho, that the only one where you get the competence for lead such a complex mission for a people. Number two, the most important thing for me, character. You don't forget the character. Certain qualities within that character. An honest person. A person, a trustworthy leader. A person where if he empower other people then. A team builder. I look for all these things. The moment I come for my own conclusion, say this man, he get what he take for liberate the Ambazonian people then. And he get the competence, he get the experience, he get the character, he get the integrity, and not hesitate. For align my outings, my communication, for a work. Because it go be not the only thing I fit do for contribute, to make the greatest contribution to the Ambazonian people them. Through a structured leader who will feel trusty and will feel help for execute the vision we get for the people. So I get for submit myself as a servant of the people on behalf of the leader. I get for humble myself so that I feel while I help the leader for work for the Ambazonian people then, for work for the forces, I feel also through 30 years of experience, I go immerse myself through the process of immersion. 30 years of experience go be in a school for me. A new school. I go acquire or I go download the knowledge, I download the experience, I go download the expertise, my mingling, my integration, my being around the leader. It go rub off all that knowledge. It go pass on to me. The experience, the judgment, the insight of 30 years. It go start for form my own foundation. Because I not be study all these things. No, neither do you. So that's why I get for work, look for people there, they get the competence, they get the character, and then they get the passion. Ooh. A leader will get passion. And the last one, a leader will get energy. The leader fit get the vision. The leader fit get the roadmap or strategy. The leader fit get the character. The leader fit get all the competence. If he get even a whole history of experience. But if that leader not get passion, he not get the energy, if the leader not be a hard-working leader, all of these things will amount to zero. And that one be being a critical factor for my analysis. I realize I'm saying that a hard-working man. That man will believe for hard work. He not believe so will get for only pray independence will come. He believes so will get for work very hard. And I say, okay, now a hard-working man, I like to work hard. Because now the thing that passion they give you the energy for dedicate yourself for things that they be meaningful. And you help or make things happen so that it benefits society. So I accept. When they call me, after they don't do a lot of digging from my own background, they do a lot of investigation and for also make sure say, me, I get the character, the qualities where they be consistent with the leader's own values. And I get the humility for work on behalf of the people. So it becomes very obvious. We must humble ourselves. We must bring ourselves for be servants. We must look deep and look for places where you feel make the most impact so that you feel contribute for move the Ambazonian people them 1 inch forward. And for do and for the way, it go empower, embolden our people them and shape a new society with certain values we will fight for. And the things and this. And the things that so they attract me to this man. And today, when I see the results, when I see leadership, when I think this, and the reason this would work, not for the people them, not for the fighters, not for Mammy them for ground. But we'll go for submit ourselves for which it be great for our people them. The governing council of Ambazonia will lead the charge for deliver the Ambazonian people their independence. And through the Ambazonia Defense Forces, we will continue to implement the roadmap and help other forces them, inspire other forces them for align themselves. That's why we want to build a contender force for the Ambazonian people them. So that forces they go align under a political leadership where he express one common objective for the Ambazonian people them. We will continue for pursue greater collaboration on the ground and get forces to be aligned. The earlier forces they align for a collective political leadership, the faster for our way we reach for gain independence. And so I want to end by thanking all the Ambazonian intellectuals, the incredible men and women with honor and dignity, where they believe say leadership will be very clear, it be transparent, it be credible, and it get the character, the competence, and the passion for work hard for the people there. We want to thank all those people where they pour their investment for help the leader for our war of independence through the Ambazonia Defense Forces for deliver liberation from the Ambazonian people. I want to thank all these doctors, all these lawyers, all these engineers. I want to thank all our hustlers, our nurses, our chemists, our front desk workers, all Ambazonians, whether the one that were farmers, but the one that way they get character, where the one a nation, where our leaders will get character. Leaders will be corruption free. All right? They be corruption free. You know if you bribe them, you know if you corrupt them. That's the organization that you want to be part of. You want to be part of greatness. You want to be part of the future. You don't want to be part of some confusing, characters, and you want to be for it to be great. So that you reflect them for your family, you reflect them for your society, you reflect them for your community. Like yesterday, when I don't hear one Ambazonian, he turned around, he made a cash donation of $50,000 to the Governing Council of Ambazonia for the Ambazonia Defense Forces. One Ambazonian, one. Because of the trust where they get them for leadership. That's why when I see these Ambazonians, their head around the open, their eye around the open, their ears around the open, and they don't open themselves. They say, hey, this man they so with all what that they attack you for, with all the noise, with the other empty heads that they make about it. A leadership is stand clear, it stand strong, it stand firm. Since from day one, he never change his talk. Wait till he talk, say go do one. Now we do one. He not tell una this one today, and tomorrow he tell una something else. He tell una say we must battle la République du Cameroon. He did do one. He tell una say we must build forces. He did do one. He tell una say we must put guns for ground. He did do one. He tell we everything we did one. Every step of we need for take them diplomatically. He did one. So when I see now all Ambazonians who they truly want independence from Ambazonia. And he talk colonial CPDM elites where they want make we fail so that then they will continue to be the old colonial elites for the new state where they dream for creating. The new Ambazonia now for me and for you. The new Ambazonia. No elites. Elitism no will be for the new Ambazonia. So all these things what the say the Council of Elders, all those things for take Ambazonia and clone them back into the image of Cameroon, it no go work. All those things. For go find all these colonial elites where they grow from those systems, take these people them back and create an ideology for clone Ambazonia into the image of Cameroon. The new Ambazonia, it will be created by the warriors, the brave fighters, who meet them, who assist them, all winner. If they feel fight for liberate, they feel fight, then they feel create what the future will be like. Those same colonial elites, they need to donate even $1. When they call, they give now 100. They give now $100. If they want one. All right? We will not accept, say, Ambazonia. They take all these same colonial CPDM elites where they don't govern the society since 1961. Bring them back as elites. Elite by foot. Ambazonians, now in the future this new generation will not stand up for una independence. Will not stand up for una liberation. Those elites, they must stand out, speak out like Pakas Nanyangwe. Before you want to accept them, they must stand up and speak out. Say they stand up for the unconditional independence of Ambazonia. Not enough to use them for more consensus, for compromise. When I want independence, when I stand for independence, and there are well-to-do Ambazonians who will be very wealthy, like this uncle or this auntie, who never even know the person. Me, I just know saying that one person don't give $50,000. They give them because they trust the leadership. They give them because they know say the future no will be compromised. They give them because they know say they're a hard working man. And at the culture of that, through hard work, we create miracles. Other countries, they don't go through what we go through. They don't succeed. Kagame do am for the people and for Rwanda. They go through the worst thing with any living people from modern times don't ever go through. For 3 months, they kill 1 million people for Rwanda. For the Rwandan genocide. 3 months, they kill 1 million people. And he rise up. He say never again. He must build a society with this kind of thing will ever repeat for people then. And end the colonialism and the occupation of the Rwandan people. For build a society where elitism not there. Favoritism not there. Corruption not there. For build a society where every pikin, whether it be boy or it be girl, you must get equal opportunity. Build a society where the people will get a good quality life, because the thing will fight for not be just independence. One way where people don't over suffer, but they get a greater quality of life. But they get a good life. They get good drinking water. They get electricity. They get good roads. Or begin to get better community schools. Good nursery schools. Good elementary schools. Good middle schools. Good high schools. Good technical institutions of education. A society will be driven by science, technology, and innovation. Where people, if you make anything they want them. If you take a cocoyam, they turn them into different products. They take cassava, they turn them into different products. They take one mango, they make all kinds of juice. They take a lagata pepper, they start for make medicine for cure all kinds of diseases. We get the means. But we must come together as a people, focus on which it work, build a powerful ADF forces, the stabilization forces, build different types of forces, and on a hard with sweet for which they put them for down. Dr. Abani the joke. Why people they should not for outside they make all this noise? The man they build ground zero for the AMBAZONIA people then. There is no joke with this generation. People if you make all the noise so they want them. The guns they enter ground zero every day. They build forces, train forces every day. General F need the joke. Any joke. That's why people feel make all this. It go take na hard work for liberate the land. So that's why we'll be this passionate. And that's why sometimes will be very hard when things need to go a certain way. Because it pain we. When we see things that people that slow we down, we're supposed to speed up. When we sometimes we feel frustrated. And he says, man. But, say the next day will be better. If we know where to put them on the ground, just this week, if we know the kind of projects we already accomplish them, today on Monday, the last 7 days, we don't accomplish 3 different projects or different places in AMBAZONIA. We are not joking. Paul Biya go hear from this generation. La République du Cameroon, colonial police, army and gendarme, they go hear. We need a joke. We need to make na be. What forces they know them? Go talk to any ADF forces. We have all ADF barracks. They get chop money every single month. Every month, all ADF barrack, they get chop money. Because we must feed our soldier them. Soldier is sick, we must take care of it. Because we need to see them as tools so they will use them for political relevance. We see them as heroes of the land. As the bravest people, they don't rise for fight for our way. That's why we must take care of them. They be uncompromising. You don't need to worry. There is no infighting. Not before this new ground zero and at a new standard this. Alright? So we are no need for worry. The dedicated ones, enough of us, go liberate the land for all of us. Alright? Enough of us Go liberate the land for all of us. Enough of una papa them and mommy them out there. Just like the brother or the sister, we don't give $50,000 with the leader announced yesterday. So too, if you help will make that difference. So too, you too, if you help will make that difference. A lot of when I be well to do. And for some of them, $50,000, now nothing, a chicken change for some of them. Some of them get 50 more to them. Some of them get 10 more to them. Some of them live for big mansion them. Some of them get big company them. When they get big work. So $50,000 for one of your house, just the equity on your house. If you take $50,000, you change the destiny of the Ambazonian people them. Just like big brother for Canada here, the doctor we called the other day talk, we give $10,000. He said the only reason we did give him that because he don't see a leadership we know say if he give him, they go use the money, make a big difference for people their lives. So too you and your family. When if you come together, when I talk say, well, see how far we don't come. Make we take this $100,000. We'll give them for leave a legacy for our people them, for change their destiny. The more structured defense forces we put them for ground, the faster Cameroon move out. The faster the international community come in, say, when I come for table, Cameroon can sign. Because these people now, they don't prove, say, then if you provide peace, security, and stability for their people them. The only reason why you did the Cameroon as an occupying power is because you promised the world, say, you will guarantee peace, security, and stability for that region. Now the people, they don't rise up. They don't need you anymore. They don't become an empowering alternative. Cameroon is a chaotic, demonic system where it go now for cause stability, insecurity. All right? We now would project ourselves as the anchor of stability for the Gulf of Guinea, the anchor of stability for Ambazonia, the anchor of peace and development, the anchor of the future. We be the future. Now we, this generation, will be the future. We must do them for the one that they did for jail. We owe them for the one that they did when are refugees. The hundreds of thousands of Ambazonia that are refugees, we owe them. So do your part. Develop a level of kindness and caring for our people them. So you know, say, all Ambazonians, so that they give their money for egg of sea, you know, say, if not money for uniform, you know, say, they go for uniform. If not money for community schools, you know, say, they go for community schools. If not money for guns, you know, say, they go for guns. If not your money, when I know, say, immediately go for those soldiers. And every ADF commander, if he confess, like the one they don't receive, I need it, man, not talking. Just this last week. A lot of things don't enter for different places. And so each month we deliver projects. This month of July, we already scale out the projects and we must accomplish them between now and end of July. For different places from Ambazonia. The consistency of egg of sea, it go guarantee with the liberation. It go guarantee with the freedom. Because each month we increase the stabilization forces. Each month we increase the stabilization forces. Each month we put forces and arms for certain strategic places. How you feel beat a person with the thing so tactically? You not fit. Now wait till make ADF this, now wait till make egg of C this. So when I feel trust for that kind of leadership, we need to blink and we need to take this thing very lightly. And the lives of our people them this, and we must commit ourselves wholeheartedly. You need to do this thing half-heartedly. You must do them with all your heart. There's the be I don't tire. I must still do them. I must still call people them. I must still go out, go back. Say, well, we need this thing. Soldier, they need this thing. We need your money for soldier them. Every month I'll go out, reach out to this person, reach out to that person. Send this soldier them that your money. Send this one them money for buy tarpaulin. Send this one them money for buy boots. Send this one the money for treatment. Send this one the one, The central command. You don't declare, say, okay, this month we will need 25,000 bullets. They don't already list out all their operations. This one, they will do this one, this one. You need 25,000 bullets for certain types of operation. And you need for deliver to the forces. The man need to sleep. Like hard working man. And any group of people where they get a leader will be hard working. The people that must succeed. Look at for any family. Any family where papa and mommy they be very lazy. You go see them for the family. But no matter the condition for your life, whether it be poor, like how all will be start. But you know, say, if you get a vision, you be ambitious, you be creative, and you be patient. No, not you know do enough you achieve. You fit change the entire family life for one generation. Maximum 10 years. If you focus within 5 to 10 years, your family will never be the same again. If you just focus. So no matter your condition, no matter how things are day now, hard work will change your life. Not believe for shortcuts. Not believe for 419. Hard work. If you be willing for work hard, you be willing for be patient and persistence, you go and get what you want for your life. Whether you want to become a doctor, even if you don't know how to write today, but if you go back to school, learn how to write. After a few years, you will become a doctor or if you become a lawyer. So your life will change, but not only hard work, it will change your life. You figure she down for church, you pray from morning till night. If you not still do the hard work, your life will remain the same. Thinking without action, it means nothing. You feel dream all you want. You talk all you want. If you not do the hard work, your life will still remain the same 5 years from now. That's why all the noise makers for this were liberation. With the last 5 years, which don't happen for the organization, how strong those organizations don't become, how better those people they don't become. Now, yeah? Because they are lazy. Maybe I tell you, I don't do my research about all man. If I tell you a lot of things, you're not going to believe. A lot of them be very lazy. That's why the organization they still did the way they did. That's why you see certain people that they only still make a noise. 5 years later, they don't get anything for sure for the AMBAZONIA people. We don't accomplish them physically, practically for the people then. We build the stabilization forces in 3 months. 3 months. Hard work. So I encourage and I call every person develop the attitude of hard work. It will take you for any place where you want to go. It will carry you right to the sky. The secret way you define them, now hard work. The secret way you define them, the secret of success or money or fame, now only hard work. Egg of sea be standing. Now because of the hard work, we will put them inside. The forces they be standing strong, powerful, all now because of hard work, not been a talk. We will leave them. Noise makers, they do the talking. We will do the hard work. At the end, we will see which reality they create them. They go remember for noise as they don't remember for noise in the last 5 years. And the more they make noise, the more noise they will make them. Because for cover up their failures for the last 5 years, now for make noise. When you hear all those noise, now they pretend for cover up their failures. When I hear all those audios, when I hear all those big, loud, empty noise, now they pretend for cover up their failures for the last 5 years. Because they not show the AMBAZONIAN people them anything where they don't create them, develop, deliver them physically. Where AMBAZONIA they fit see them, measure them, quantify them, say they don't do them. So the more time they pass, now the more they go crazy on their noise. And as I don't tell you now, the only reason now for cover up the failures of their emptiness. All right? As they talk. Which how they talk of pigeon self. They say, which empty container make the loudest noise. I think it's after they talk. Would I not laugh me? I think I said they talk on an empty drum make the loudest noise. That's all. Well, this pigeon. I beg. I did try me here. The other day, one of my auntie, he called me the other day for one of my auntie the other day, one of even know me. He called me from the UK. Auntie called me. Auntie want talk boki. Auntie called me for talk boki for me. Boki no fit come off my mouth fire. Oh God, this Oyibo country, you don't come here. You be disconnected with your people. Then maybe your own country talks. Eh? The brain cells, when they keep you active for be able to talk. The neurons around the die. I the try to talk Boki, come on. This is a tear back. Man, just talk me for PG. Oh. All right, my fellow Ambazonians. We wanna stay fine. We wanna get a good night. We wanna know about stress when I are. Things that they really work fine for we. We make a lot of progress and we move forward. So we talk tomorrow, yeah. And I get a beautiful night. And I want to thank all when I say when I don't take the time for listening for we. Please, when I take this video, when I take this outing, when I download them, some of when I fit download them, turn them into audios, turn them into short small video them for the part way it really fine. When I take them, when I put them out there, when I spread them, the more we spread the beautiful truth, the things that they empower we, the more the energy we create them for out there. All right? When I continue for be forces of unity, when I continue for be forces for make what people then get a project go to one time. And as you go out there represent AMBAZONIA, please represent AMBAZONIA in style, represent AMBAZONIA in class. All right? Because what people they deserve class. We get for represent what people then for the highest level for reflect what they fight for the building a good future for all we. Now get a good night. I love all now.